What's up, guys? It's Easley Jackets here, and I have some NBA 2K13 gameplay of Thunder and Rockets. And for those who don't know, James Harden, last year's NBA Sixth Man of the Year, was traded to the Houston Rockets from the Oklahoma City Thunder, along with 3 other players, including Daquan Cook as one of them. And in return, the Thunder got Kevin Martin, the rookie Jeremy Lamb, and 2 first-round draft picks, and 1 second-round draft pick from 2013. And now this is a pretty big trade because it took place like 3 days before the start of the NBA season. And everybody was pretty shocked because nobody really thought they were going to trade James Harden. I mean, he's a solid player. And I mean, keep in mind, James Harden was on the Olympic team this past summer. And at only 23 years old, he's a young star in the making. Now, Dwayne Wade said he was surprised when some reporters asked him about him, as well as the entire San Antonio Spurs organization said they were surprised. And after Kevin Durant was informed of the trade, he tweeted, "Wow. Just wow and nothing else. Imagine what it must be like for him and Westbrook. You know, the chemistry they had with Harden was one of a kind. And to see him just go like that must be pretty tough." But my main reason for making this video was to break down the facts and try to decide, was it a smart trade and who got the better deal out of the James Harden trade, the Thunder or the Rockets? So for those who don't know, James Harden turned down a 4-year, $55 million contract. $55 million. And I guess he wanted a max contract, but that just wasn't in OKC's budget. So they're like, you know, it's either this or nothing. Take it or leave it. And especially considering they already pay Westbrook and Durant max contracts. And they just signed a 4-year, $50 million extension with Serge Ibaka following the end of last NBA season. But anyway, when I first heard the news, I was like, wow, the Thunder are stupid. What were they thinking? Now the Lakers are definite Western Conference champs. But if you stop and break it down a little bit, the Thunder got the better end of the deal. And this is why. Although Kevin Martin was sidelined with the shoulder injury last year, he still averaged 17 points. And I did some research on these facts, so I know it's accurate. 17 points. The only thing is he won't be as much of a primary scorer in OKC, because you got guys like Westbrook and Durant on the court, you know, and they kind of run OKC's base offense. And that's the main problem with Kevin Martin. He's truly only known as a scorer. He doesn't grab a lot of rebounds, he doesn't get a lot of assists, and he doesn't play the greatest defense. But that's where Sefolosha, Ibaka, and Perkins come into play. Because Sefolosha plays straight lockup D, Ibaka and Perkins will take care of all the rebounds. And, you know, Jeremy Lamb, fresh out of UConn, is also a shooting threat. And he's still young, has a bright future. So that's just adding to OKC's, you know, threat. You know, they're still deadly with so many shooters. You know, you can't cover all of them. And with leaders like Westbrook and Durant and Ibaka, the Thunder don't have too much to worry about. And don't forget about Perry Jones III, also, coming off the bench. He's a monster. Now, the Rockets, on the other hand, are a bit of a different story. They're going to start Jeremy Lin and James Harden in the backcourt, and they're truly expecting Jeremy Lin to be like their version of like a Chris Paul, or, you know, be a floor general, you know, coming straight off a knee surgery that put him out last year. And the Rockets just recently signed James Harden to a 5-year, $80 million extension, and they plan to make him like the center of their franchise, you know, like yeah, I don't really know how that's going to work out, though. Personally, I don't think Harden is the kind of guy you can build a franchise around. He was more of a role player in OKC with, you know, Durant and Westbrook mostly running the show last year. And he's going to have enormous pressure on him starting and leading this team to, you know, even attempt to make a playoff run. But another problem is Harden has very little talent surrounding him. His center, Omer Asik, was a backup for the Bulls last year who averaged 3 points a game in 15 minutes, which is pretty sad. And Chandler Parsons, who only averaged 9.5 points per game in 28.6 minutes. And neither of these stats truly stand out, but the Rockets also sent away 3 future draft picks, which means they're not getting any new guys to help them out in the future. And they also let go of Kyle Lowry, who went to the Raptors, as you guys may know, and let go of Courtney Lee, who went to the Celtics. So my main question is, if James Harden gets tired, which he will, who is going to come in the game for the Rockets? Who will provide that extra scoring that the Rockets are going to need? Their bench is not the best. I mean, they do have Terrence Jones from Kentucky and Royce White from, where is he from? Iowa State, yeah. Which are two rookies who will help them out. But other than that, I'd say they're in trouble. But anyway, I definitely think the Thunder got the better end of this deal. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, James Harden was being greedy, because otherwise he should have accepted the contract offer for 50 whatever million and stayed with the Thunder. I mean, aka the Western Conference champs that he played with last year and the NBA title contenders, compared to now playing with a rebuilding team that didn't even make the playoffs last year, and he's going to be struggling a lot this year. So that was my main breakdown on the James Harden trade, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I really want to see, I'm going to be watching the NBA to see how the Rockets do, and I already know OKC is going to be killing, but just to see how James Harden does with Jeremy Lin, and hopefully, they're not disappointing. But that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to check out my channel and subscribe for more videos. And this is EC Jackets, and I'm out of here.
That's the way this team will be as long as Brooks is the coach.
And the Rockets with possession here, following Jeremy Lin's three. 15 seconds left to play here in the first. Douglas can't hit. Here's Westbrook. He's got 5. And Lamb kicks to Ibaka. Jones. Over Harden. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Thunder lead by 14. And back in a moment.